I'm Niels Rutten, and this is my dairy farm on the island of Texel in the Netherlands. Dairy farming is hard. It's a lot of work, and you're working with live animals. There's a lot of uncertainty. Things can change within a day. You just have to be really focused and keep track of it all. The cow's health is of the utmost importance. A sick cow is not producing milk, and she will also require more attention. That's why we adopt new technology. We're searching for things that can help us out. And artificial intelligence can be a great tool to give farmers more insight. The app of IDA helps me to keep track of my cows, so it makes life easier.
IDA is really the dairy farmer's assistant. It starts by a sensor that sits on the neck of a cow. And by analyzing the movement of this sensor, we use TensorFlow and machine learning to figure out what the cow is doing. And we can actually distinguish multiple behaviors of this cow: eating, ruminating, drinking, standing, laying, and walking. So if IDA sees a certain pattern in the behavior, IDA can actually figure out the disease that the cow is prone to get, and she can warn the farmer to take care of her.
The key thing with IDA is that it learns. Using TensorFlow, an open source tool that Google has authored, it learns the behavior of animals, and it gets better over time.
That helps me to improve the efficiency of my milk production and also improve animal welfare to keep the cows healthy and comfortable.
We see farming as evolving. Technology and the farmer are going to work together.
About 1 billion people globally are engaged in dairy farming. And by solving some of these problems, we're able to help farmers run a more efficient farm.
And we can do it in a way that is sustainable for us as a species and our planet.
The one thing that people always should remember is cows are cool.
What we're doing is so important, it's too important to fail. And I still really believe that. I mean, that's what really keeps me going. We have 3 audacious goals. One is to reduce or eliminate 80% of the synthetic chemical pesticides used in agriculture globally by 2030, while at the same time increasing farm productivity by at least 20%. And third is to really reimagine how agriculture is done. You increase the profitability for the farmer, and at the same time, you're pulling carbon out of the atmosphere where it's causing problems into the soil where it's doing a lot of good. You know, incent changes in how agriculture is done to increase soil carbon by 100%. That would be enough, if you could scale that globally, to turn back the clock on climate change. As an entrepreneur, it's always been really important that, you know, I have somebody working with me who has a really strong finance background and was really keeping track of the details and the structure. A lot of it is the people connection, but that is a lot of what investors look for. They actually already know that you may not be able to achieve all of your projections, but it is part numbers and part trying to them actually looking through the numbers to what the personality is and what vision and scope of what you're trying to actually build is. What's your end goal? What's driving you? What's the passion? And what's the purpose behind why the organization is created? Being clear on the purpose and what that successful outcome is really important internally, and to be authentic to how you build an organization and a company.
Our mission is to change the game in row crop agriculture by establishing pheromones as a durable and non-toxic foundation of managing pests.
Pheromone crop protection allows farmers around the world to produce the quantities of food that we will need in a safe and selective and sustainable manner without destroying their own land.
I take a lot of inspiration from the growers that we serve and with whom we develop our products. Agriculture is all about hope that you can make things better in the next season. In that sense, I consider myself to be always learning how to do things better at Provivi.
What excites me about going to work every day is the immense opportunity that we're given to create new technology that literally impact every single one of us. The team at Provivi is a group of very creative, passionate scientists from all fields, including chemistry, biology, entomology, material science.
We pride ourselves in maximizing this diversity. Great ideas emerge when very different people come together to solve for a common goal. When you collaborate with people different than you, hopefully better than you.
Not any single one of us can solve these problems on their own, so it's a collective that we have brought together to tackle this very big challenges of food security.
We are focusing on the staple crops, the crops that sustain most of the population, and we want to do it one step at a time, but with a clear long-term vision in place. Next years to come, we hope to deploy our solutions and our products over thousands, millions of hectares in our key markets, and thereby be a source of positive change for the farmers that we're serving.
EarthSense is a robotics and machine learning company creating amazing new technologies for agriculture. We started EarthSense primarily to figure out how we can help address some of the most pressing issues in agriculture, rather than waiting for technology to be created elsewhere in the Silicon Valley and trickling down to agriculture. Because of our unique place here, we wanted to understand the problems deeply and create specific solutions that directly help farmers as soon as possible.
So the robot we have, we characterize it by three things. So the first is it's compact, the second is autonomous, and the third is it's teachable. So the robot is compact, it's only 12 inches wide, and it's designed that way so that it can fit through tight spaces in fields, specifically between the rows of corn or between the rows of soybean. Then it has three cameras, one on the front, two on the side, that it uses, and it can control them to look at different parts of the plant. And it has a camera on top, which it uses to look at the canopy and the light that's coming in. It has two laser sensors, one in the front, one in the back, and it's using that to kind of sense the three-dimensional environment around it. The second is it's autonomous. So it can go through fields of corn by itself. So specifically, if you started from one end of a row of in a cornfield, it can follow that row and come out at the other end. And the third thing is teachable. So right now we have taught it to do high throughput phenotyping, which is really measuring plants so that breeders can choose which plants are doing better in a particular environment. We're also teaching the robot to do other things such as detect diseases. With implements on it, it should be able to also go around and deal with herbicide-resistant weeds.
Farmers and other end users want this technology as soon as possible. One of the most frequent questions we get is, okay, when can I have it on my farm? So that's really inspiring and exciting for us, and also a little bit intimidating because it kind of starts the pressure up to say, okay, we got to deliver. We're ready to hire more people and keep growing and make more exciting technology that helps farmers, helps seed companies, helps crop scientists, all that kind of stuff.
Water is a very fascinating thing. It's so fundamental to life and to human existence. I helped found a water treatment company, and we've spent the last 30 years learning about water and covering water and getting value out of water and the products that are in wastewater. We were always interested in more heavily contaminated water and fixing more intense problems. And we started to look at manure. There's something that's really exciting about taking unusable water and recycling it into something that's clean and sparkly and usable. Farmers are very, very proud, original entrepreneurs, and their dreams are often impacted or go to die because they just can't get out from under the implications of this manure there's just always this massive amount of liquid. And when we look at manure, we don't see a waste, we see an opportunity to create a really great value proposition for the farms or the food plants that make that water. What we needed to do was to make a process that would be good for anyone. At each step, we make a different kind of fertilizer. So in the first step, we'll take out all the organic material, which makes a great compost. And then in the next step, we'll take all the phosphorus and the organic nitrogen and the micronutrients out, and we'll make a nice solid fertilizer. And then in the last step, we'll take out a liquid with all the ammonia and the potassium in it. And that can be directly applied to a crop and is a great additive for growing the very feed that feeds the animals. And at the end, we're left with clean water. Everybody loves a new idea, but are nervous about using it. Our challenge is to really communicate about the exciting way that we can change their lives and get that message out to people, and then having people adopt a better approach to how they're dealing with manure.
Innovation is the specific tool of entrepreneurs, the means by which they exploit change as an opportunity for a different business or service. By the year 2050, farmers are expected to increase world food production by 70% in order to meet the needs of 9 billion people. Continuing to improve how the agricultural sector uses water resources and manages nutrients is critical. Jay Binversey, a dairy farmer and owner of Robinway Dairy LLC located near Kiel, Wisconsin, saw the possibilities to be a good environmental citizen and become more sustainable through innovation. In 2015, Robinway Dairy LLC was the first in Wisconsin to install the livestock water recycling system, a technology that recycles up to 75% of manure to clean, potable water. They are able to process up to 90,000 gallons per day, which is about 80 gallons a minute. Robinway Dairy LLC was started back in 1958 by Bob and Janet Binversey, before it was purchased by Jay and his wife Pam in 1993. They now live there with their children Taylor, Greta, and Josie, milking 1,550 cows in a double 24 parlor and raising 700 steers per year. The family also runs about 1,400 acres of cropland and 600 acres that are irrigated. The clean water that they get using the LWR system can be applied for field irrigation using pivots, as well as washing sand, floors, and equipment. This reduces the volume of well water used and replaces some of the nutrients to soil, a plus for the environment. But Binversey knew he could do more with the LWR system.
What happened was we're taking 15 million gallons of clean water every year, making clean water out of our manure, and from that product we came up with a product called Bucky Bloom.
Bucky Bloom is organic and uses renewable resources from dairy farms through reverse osmosis and further dries the solids from the LWR system, resulting in either a dry or liquid end product. You get all the essential nutrients and organisms that help make soil healthy and full of the nutrients that feed plants. Healthy soils act as natural protectants of our groundwater supply. Bucky Bloom increases microbial activity, which can decrease the abundance of harmful organisms such as disease-causing pathogens and plant pests. It's great for vegetable growers, gardens, and greenhouses. The fiber and weed seeds are all filtered out.
This one runs through reverse osmosis, so as we take the fiber out and we really concentrate it, it's got a lot of nutrient value. It's used as a zucchini plant, and this is the zucchini plant after we treated it. This is a tomato plant, one treated, one not treated with the liquid. Here's a pumpkin that's going to be close to 400 pounds now. We also use it on a farm. We treat the liquid on our hay. Here's cornfields that we treat with the liquid through the pivots, and we get sometimes we can get as high as 27 to 30 ton corn silage.
Using the LWR technology and creating Bucky Organics landed the Binversey family the 2015 Wisconsin Business Friend of the Environment Award of Environmental Innovation at the annual Business Friend of the Environment Awards. Jay is a part of a growing group of dairy industry leaders who are changing the way livestock farmers manage manure. Jay and his family know how hard work and dedication are the keys to success.